Hey, my name's Alex Reininga. You can find me on Instagram, big_al_Reininga. And I'm here today to answer some questions on behalf of Willamette Valley Kendama. So I found Kendama actually on a ski and snowboard trip. I was part of the ski and snowboard club called Core Freeride at Oregon State University. And the spring break of 2015, our club took a trip out to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I had a friend named Bryce Hawley, who was one of my buds that I would skate with, snowboard with, and he actually had kendamas with him on the trip. So every day when the club would get home from the mountain, and there's those few hours of downtime when people would shower, they would nap, they would just kind of hang out in the yard and kick the soccer ball around waiting for dinner time and just the subsequent partying that might be associated with that. He would play kendama, and I was very fascinated by it. I tried a big cup and didn't do it, and I think that really captivated me. It made me want to be able to do big cup. I've often told people it's like trying to learn how to kickflip on a skateboard. You see someone kickflip and you think it looks super cool, and you try it and it's hard, and some people give up, but I was never one of those people. I was one of the people that would try and learn how to do the kickflip in this instance. So when I wasn't finding success immediately with kendama, it had me hooked. Upon coming home from the trip, I bought several kendamas from Kendama USA and have been playing ever since. I started playing in April of 2015, so it's been about 5.5 years now. There's definitely been some periods where I was playing less frequently, but I would definitely say that over the course of the 5.5 years, I've at least touched a kendama every single day. I think for me, kendama is all about the perseverance and the repetition of landing the tricks. People, when they first learn kendama, some people drop it right away when they don't find that instant success, that instant gratitude. And I think that's a lot of the reason why I stuck around. I think if I tried a trick and landed it first try or second try even, I don't think I would have been as excited about it. I think if it wasn't hard, I don't think there was any reason for me to stick around. So I think the 1,000 tries to finally land a trick, but then having that trick feel so rewarding and so gratifying that you almost forget about the fact that you spent 1,000 tries trying to land it. That perseverance and commitment is really what kendama is for me. I think on top of that, kendama has branched out into every aspect of my life. It's not just the perseverance with this little wooden toy to land a trick. If you come across life struggles or adversity, you've really kind of trained yourself to acknowledge that even if it's hard, that doesn't mean it's impossible. And with enough time and enough patience and enough practice, there are a lot of things that you might think are impossible that are actually very doable. And so I think kendama has not only taught me these traits, but have also allowed me to teach others these traits through teaching them kendama, which I think is something that's very special to me. I think that my answer might be a little different than most. I think that when looking at Instagram or YouTube edits, it's very easy to point out the players that are setting the bar, that are progressing the sport with the hardest tricks and the most consistent posting and things like that. And sure, that's great. I think it's a good acknowledgement of where the sport is heading. But obviously I'm not at that level. I'm not necessarily learning the tricks that they're posting as spam tricks, as people call them. I think for me, the people that really kind of influence me and motivate me in the community are the people that just look like they're having a great time when doing it. I've never met this person personally, but Chad Covington, the owner of Soul Kendamas, I think is a great representation. I don't think I've ever seen Chad post something on Instagram that he wasn't just smiling ear to ear when he was done with it. And for me, that's what kendama is all about. It's not about being the best. It's not about posting the most frequently or the hardest tricks. It's all about just loving what you're doing and being in that moment, which you can tell he embodies, not only as a player but as an owner to a company, and I think that's just amazing. I think this too might be a little bit surprising and a little bit different than other responses. My answer is not events that I've been to or players that I've met or certain tricks that I've landed necessarily. For me, I think my favorite kendama memory was the first time I received kendamas in the mail. I got some Kendama USA tributes, which at this point are a bit outdated. But at the time, I had no idea. They were just my first kendamas, and I was so in love with them. And I sat in my room for several hours that first night, literally practicing big cup. And not only just big cup, but I want to even try to go from cup to cup or cup to spike. It was pull up and big cup. And once I landed it, I would put it back down, pull up, big cup again until I could do it 10 times in a row. And then I would try it again to small cup and then again to base cup. And that was all I did that first day. And, you know, I could have tried to go to spike. I could have tried the things I've seen my friends do. But I really knew that those fundamentals were going to be important, and that I wasn't going to be able to learn hard tricks without learning the easy tricks. And so, of course, I wanted to learn how to do spikes and flip my Ken and things like that. But, you know, I understood the process, even though I just got into it. And I spent so much time in my room just learning that big cup. And, you know, the next day waking up with sore legs and trying big cup again and still being able to do it, I think that was when I was officially hooked on kendama. So my favorite memory. It's a great one.